Once you're happy, you understand what OER and open licensing are, the next question is, why would you want to engage in taking your content, making it available, and licensing it for others to reuse yourself? So, one way of thinking about it is to understand that you are not the first person who has done this. Oxford has been producing open educational resources, mainly in the form of audio and video, through podcasts.ox.ac.uk since 2009. This has seen academics across the university release their materials, and Oxford has had a lot of very positive feedback on this work. Although not everything here has been openly licensed, everything is open and it's had a huge impact globally. Perhaps this has been seen most broadly through iTunes U, which, as you can see, has some very big numbers attached to it. 10 million downloads, 130,000 times a week, 185 countries worth of people looking at them. And this can happen both at the university level but also at the individual level. So here in the Department for Continuing Education, one of our academics, Marion Talbot, has been global #1, and across all the podcasts she has done for iTunes U has seen over 3 million downloads of her work. I can't promise you, if you engage in this, that you're going to have the same kind of impact, but there is the potential and it's worth bearing in mind. So, apart from global domination, what other reasons might you want to get involved in releasing your material as OER and working in this kind of way? Putting materials online does give more to your students, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Also, as open educational resources and information on the web becomes more core to academic practice, this is a chance for you to explore what it means for you and how you can use it for your benefit. As we've already indicated, you can have global domination. Your teaching materials will be disseminated in a University of Oxford branded portal, such as iTunes U, and it's a chance for you to get global recognition for the work that you're doing at Oxford. As alluded to already, we also think it can be great for your students. It gives your students more learning materials than they would have had just in their normal learning experience, selected by an expert such as you that's particularly relevant to their course. It also lets them access them not just when they're inside your classroom or inside the departmental buildings, but wherever they are in the world. For students, you're giving them a window onto this growing area of excellent resources that are available freely online, and giving them a chance to understand how they make choices about what they look at. Digital literacy, choosing what are good resources, are a key part of being a student in the 21st century. And we hope by giving students access to what you've chosen, you're modelling the behaviours they're going to have going forward. Also, a lot of our tutors have actually started to work with their students to help them identify and collect resources that they think are good. So they're part of the process, they're improving their skills, and it's also meaning that you don't have to be the person who always finds everything that your students find useful. They can find stuff too. More generally, this does fit into our departmental mission to open education at Oxford to the wider world. Everything we do in this project is completely open. Anybody can see what you produce, and we think that that's really valuable. So far, with the tutors that we've worked with, quite a few have commented that they think it improves the quality of what they do. It lets them do more, but it also makes sure that they produce presentations and pieces of work that they are happy to share with the world. We've obviously always produced excellent courses, but we like to think that we're making them possibly even better. In terms of productivity, I think it would be a lie to say that you're going to save time straight away. This is an extra thing to do on top of what you do already. However, what it lets you do is collect all the resources that you use in your teaching, both those that you produce yourself, that you openly license, and those of other people that you want to direct your students to. Once you've got these collected together against a course, you can actually then disaggregate them and put them against other courses. It's essentially giving you a repository of content that you use in your teaching that you can then gather together in other combinations. And because this is all openly available, whether you stay at Oxford or whether you go somewhere else, this will always be available for you to use in your teaching and learning. And I think in the longer term we will see productivity gains from this. We do know that contrary to the fear that if you put your material online, no one will want to do your course. As a rule, this is not the case. At the most basic level, you're not putting your course online. You're putting resources that support your course online. Your course is far more than that. It's your teaching, it's the interaction in the classroom, it's a chance to be together with other students, and many, many more things. And actually, there's a lot of evidence from both ourselves but other providers who've put far more materials than we have online, that in fact, instead of eating away with your students, getting a taster of what's available makes students more likely to sign up for your course. We already know that students follow some of our best tutors, and we'd like to think that this is only going to extend that practice. You're a great teacher, let the world know it. I think as well, it's good for our reputation, it's what we do, we want people to see how good what we do is, and so for us it's a winning proposition all round. The last thing to reiterate, if you don't know this, is that as well as all those benefits, just because you openly license something doesn't mean that you give up all your rights to your material. And there's a few crucial facts that you should remember when you're thinking about openly licensing material. Even if you say other people can use it, you are retaining copyright. You can still commercially exploit your work even if you put a non-commercial license on your work for other people. And the last thing is that you have legal protection through the Copyright Designs and Patents Act. So if anything does happen that you're not happy with, you can use this. Well, I hope I've made a case that's made you start to think that this is something you might want to do. This particular presentation is Open License itself, and if you want to find out more about how you open license or what you do next, visit our website at open.conted.ox.ac.uk, and in particular look at the Sesame outputs that are at the URL here.